Hey, Mogul Chicks. Today we are going there. If you are ready to stop playing small and advance to the big leagues in business, this is the conversation you need to listen to. We're talking about why you're stuck at current revenue levels and what you need to do to break out of it. I'm not sugarcoating anything in this episode. You know, I come with the real talk. If you're sensitive, take a breath. You still need to listen. If you're serious, get ready and take notes. Why do we need to have this conversation? Because this is the conversation most founders avoid, but every CEO needs. I'll talk about the three reasons you probably are stuck, plus five decisions you must make to get unstuck. But first, ask yourself two questions. Am I the reason my revenue hasn't increased? And what are some of the things I need to stop doing so I can reach new revenue goals and objectives? Welcome back to another episode of Mogul Chicks Chat. I'm your host, Adrienne Graham. I'm the CEO and proud founder of Mogul Chicks LLC, and that's Chicks with an X. I am a serial entrepreneur and a self made businesswoman who is a strategic business growth advisor, published author, mentor, and investor. We help female founders grow, scale, and get their companies investment ready. Mogul Chicks is a mindset, a way of life, if you will, and a blueprint for female founders who want to build a legacy of wealth and a generational business empire. We provide strategic business growth solutions and a platform for resources, mentoring, networks, and education. Our mission is to take your company from flat to profit generating to job creating to investment ready. My personal mission is to help you build and run a better company, reimagine the way you do business, and build lasting wealth. Oh, and before I forget, be sure to tag at Mogul Chicks using the hashtag Mogul Chicks Chat on social media. Make sure you rate the show and leave a comment. It helps people find us. Share the love, share the love. All right, let's get into it and make sure you have a pen and pad to take notes. Most of you are stuck because you've outgrown the structure you've built. You can't scale beyond the business you've designed for your former capacity. Let that sink in for a minute. I say former capacity because truthfully, you're not that same person anymore. You're not the same person as when you first put up your shingle. When you started out on your own, your agenda was different, your goals were different, even your approach was different. But as you started gaining momentum, things changed and adjusted along the way, which is normal. Your systems, your pricing, your team, your capacity, even your habits, all are supposed to evolve over time. But one or more of these things haven't evolved. Do you know which one or ones they are? I think you need to do an evaluation to see which ones we're talking about. They're stuck in the 1.0 version of you. You have now reached 3.0 version without actually getting there. I'll explain. You're trying to do $5 million work with $500,000 systems. You're trying to hit 1 million in revenue with a system that's designed for $100,000 businesses. You ever heard of that saying, you can't be a millionaire with a thousandaire mind? It's kind of like that if you really think about it. You're chasing more clients when the real problem is your business model can't carry more clients. You're capped. You can't do it. It's just you or just a skeleton team that is bursting at the seams. And some of you aren't even hiring the people that you need to grow and evolve. Plateaus are not failures. They're signals, they're indicators and data points. They're your business telling you, hey, sis, look, we can't scale like this. We are at max capacity. We can't do it anymore. It's like trying to put 10 pounds of potatoes in a 5 pound bag. It's just not able to happen. And once you understand that, you stop taking it personal and you start fixing it strategically. I can't really blame you because you don't know what you don't know. And maybe You just never had access to the right advisors to provide guidance at different levels within your business. That's fine. So let me shift into strategic advisor mode and let me help you out a little bit. There are only three reasons that companies get stuck. And I'm talking about small businesses that get stuck. First reason, your offer architecture isn't built to scale. Most founders sell too many offers. They're all over the place. They want to sell everything and anything. And I know I'm rich to be talking about that because I have a lot of things going on with Mogul Checks. But they're structured and streamlined, and each has its own division. So that's different. Or offers you've outgrown them. I mean, if you started your business 5 years ago and you're still offering the same thing and you're complaining about your revenue not going up, then you've outgrown it. Plain and simple. Or you have offers that require your hands in every step of the delivery. That is what I am willing to bet money that 90% of you that are listening to this podcast are stuck in. You know why? Because I know, because I've been there. We can't be everything in a business. We can't be the marketer, the HR person, the legal person, the startup advisor. We can't be the accountant. We can't be the designer, the consultant. We can't do it all. But here we are, especially Black women, I'm talking to you too. We have our hands in every part of the business because we feel like we're the only ones qualified to do the work. That is simply not true. You're not stuck because people don't want you to sell. And I've seen that narrative on social media. You're stuck because your offers require you to personally fulfill everything. Yes, you got to stop that. If you want to scale, your offer must scale separately from your offer, meaning that with or without you, that sucker's still going to sell. Reason number two, your team is built around convenience, not intention. So let me ask this question because I know a lot of you have fallen into this. How many of you have been super busy, overwhelmed, piled with work, slammed with all kind of responsibilities, and your first thought is, let me hire an assistant. I need an assistant to take some things off my plate. I need an assistant to help me. Wrong answer. Now, I will say this. You can't outsource chaos if that's what you're working in. Everybody says, "Oh, well, I have a method to my madness. I know what I'm doing. It's me. It's me." Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can't scale a business like that because if you're the only one who knows the method, where's it going really? Delegation isn't magic. It's freedom. It's not something to be scared of. And hiring someone just to help you, I'm using finger quotes, is not a real strategy. You need defined roles for every part of your business. You need clear outcomes for every process you have, every single one. I tell my clients all the time, document it. I don't care if it's just opening email or responding to customers or fixing a 911 situation. You need to have clear outcomes for every process that you have. Ownership of tasks go to every part of your team, including yourself. Accountability systems to reward staff who do well and guide the ones who are struggling. And sometimes they may require termination, but that's a conversation for a different episode. But you're keeping everyone accountable. Everyone from the bottom up and the top down needs to be accountable. And that includes you as well. A huge issue is that most business owners hire people to relieve stress, not to build capacity. And then wonder why growth stalls. Girl, really? Your team should buy back your time and increase your earning potential. I mean, business earning potential. If they don't do both, that structure needs to change and you need to find the people who can do that. Reason number three, your operations are messy, manual, or inconsistent. If your business requires your hands on every little thing, then you're not scaling, you're babysitting. Messy operations lead to slow onboarding, delivery inconsistencies, low client retention, burnout, and revenue ceilings that you can't break through no matter how skilled, degreed, or gifted you are. Girl, look, we are not an island unto ourselves. Remember how they always tell you to raise kids, it takes a village? Well, to build a business, it takes a village. Every company wants to grow. Every company that wants to grow must simplify, standardize, and automate their processes
and their systems, and they have to hire, not later, right now. So let's look at the decisions. I told you there's 5 decisions that unlock your next level. Okay. So if you want to claim the title of CEO, you have to be a CEO. And CEOs make the hard decisions. There's a distinct difference, and I know you've heard me say this on social media, that there is a difference between being a business owner and having a business and being a CEO and running a company. Two different things, two different flows. Scaling, first of all, is not based on luck. Okay, it's strategic. It's not magic, and it's not even really that hard. If you really put the right things in place, you could scale. Scaling is a series of strategic decisions, that you commit to and reinforce. That's a big thing, reinforce, because you can't just have decisions made and then don't follow through or follow up on them. Everybody has to be accountable, like I said in the last clip. So here are the mandatory decisions you must make if you want to break out of your current revenue tier. Repeat after me. I will stop doing everything myself. Yes. You cannot scale while clutching every responsibility to your chest like it's a security blanket or a puppy or something. You have to release control. I know that's hard for some of you because you're so used to being in control and doing everything yourself. Girl, that's going to age you. Trust me. Delegate outcomes, not tasks. It's easy to say, hey, I need you to do A, B, and C, but then you don't give them ownership and you don't put them in charge of the outcome of the task. And you don't want to have to clean up behind anyone. So delegate those outcomes and trust your team. And if you don't trust your team, get rid of them and build a new one. And I know that sounds cruel and heartless, but it is business. Business is business. If your team is not meeting the objectives and they are not doing what they're supposed to do to grow the revenue of your company, why are you paying them a salary? Why are you keeping them on? And don't say out of obligation because that is not a way to keep a team. But the era of I'll just do it real quick has to end, y'all. And I've done it, and there's a lot of people that I know that'll be like, you know what? It's just easier for me to do it myself. I'll just do it. Instead of they're messing up, instead of dealing with it, I'll just do it myself. No, no, that's not what a CEO does. So get that out of your mind. Decision number 2: I will raise my standards in every single thing, ladies, in your pricing, client expectations, operational excellence, team accountability, and even your own discipline. Your revenue will never exceed what your standards are, ever. So keep that in mind. If you have low standards, your revenue is going to stay low. But if you set your standards high, your revenue can be limitless. Okay? So keep that in mind. Decision 3: I will lead like a CEO, not a hustler, not a part timer, not a freelancer. Let's be honest, many founders are addicted to being busy because it makes them feel valuable. And dare I say, a lot of you get into business to make what you made at your last job or maybe a little bit more. That's not how this works. In my business growth accelerator, my students, the first thing I ask them is, what is your annual targeted revenue? I've had people say everything from $100,000 to $300,000. And my response has always been, then you need to go back to your job. You're in business to make money. Don't let anybody make you feel guilty for that. You need to be setting your sights on higher revenue targets. But check this out: busyness is not leadership. That's only saying that you got a lot of stuff to do. Urgency is not strategy. You can't think about strategy when you're in a crunch time. You can't do that. Exhaustion is not a badge of honor. Ask me how I know, because exhaustion has led me to the hospital on more than one occasion. And if you just want to match your salary at a previous job, well, like I said, you might as well go back and get that job. We're running companies here, ladies. We're real CEOs. Real CEOs think, plan, delegate, forecast, strategize, protect capacity. That's emotional, mental, physical, financial, all of that. And they make decisions from data, not emotion. Or they simply hire professionals who can help them do that or do that for them. You can't scale your business while shrinking yourself. Remember that. Decision number four, I will build the infrastructure that matches the revenue I want. Let me say it again. I will build the infrastructure that matches the revenue I want. If you're saying you want to build a multi-million dollar company, but you're operating from social media posts, Google Docs, and vibes like that, and I know some of you are going to get mad at me for saying that, but too bad. We've got to disconnect. That's fine for if you want to stay small. I just want to have a $250,000 business. That's fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I always tell you guys, whatever your target, your goal is good. Do you. However, if you have those big dreams and big goals, and if you've seen that Debbie Allen clip on fame, you got big dreams, you want fame. Well, right here is where you start paying in sweat. Okay, maybe not that dramatic, but you get the point. Same thing. So, structure, let's say that, determines your scale. If you build the right infrastructure, the revenue will follow, I promise you. But you got to take the steps to do it. And the final decision, decision five, is I will invest in what accelerates growth. That's not cute software, that's not shiny tools, that's not endless courses and coaching. I know some people will get mad at me for saying that, but at what point do you stop getting guidance and start doing? And coaching, I'm sorry, is not for everybody. It really isn't. And I know people are going to get mad at me for saying that, but every coach hasn't lived through every economic uncertainty or every cycle or every presidential administration. So how can they really advise you? An MBA doesn't mean that you are the best in business. It just means you were able to pass some tests and write some papers. And I hate to say that because I am a firm believer in education, but stop with the coaching for real. So here's what you invest in: operations. That's everything that has a purpose and a place in the business. Every function that you need to document, everything that keeps the things moving within the business. Talent. The right team will execute your vision and advance your company. Leadership. If you don't know how to be a CEO, then get help learning how to be one. Systems, not a bunch of tech stacks you saw someone post on social media or on TikTok. Some that make life easier and can allow new hires to step in and take over seamlessly. Brand authority. Put that company in front of the right people, decision makers who will buy, not just the people that hang out on Facebook and Instagram, but they have to know who you are and what results you can deliver for them, and then stand on that. Strategic guidance in the form of professionals and advisors. And I know a lot of people don't want to spend the money for advisors and professionals like attorneys and accountants and CPAs and tax advisors. Listen, those people, they will make sure that you stay on track and they will ensure that your revenue increases. You need investments that multiply your capacity, not multiply your overwhelm. So, what does breaking out actually feel like? Well, here's the part no one likes to talk about. Scaling feels like all of these things I'm about to throw at you. It's discomfort. It's releasing old identities because you can't be the same person as when you first started your business. Breaking habits that kept you safe. Giving up control. Yeah, ladies, you have to give up control sometimes and let the professionals do what they do. That's what you hire them for. Delegating things you've always done. Yeah, answering your email, making appointments, looking at your calendar, scheduling meeting. Yeah, you don't need to do all of that. And even, you know what, dare I say, household duties as well. Get a housekeeper, get a nanny, get a cook, a chef, something, a driver. Don't limit yourself. Trusting people. Sometimes you have to bite the bullet and trust. Now, the world could be, in the business world, could be very wicked. And I've seen a lot of things go left. But at some point, you have to hone your skills so you can learn to start trusting the right people. Raising prices. Yes, you have to raise your prices. And when I say that, I don't mean because somebody done told you, hey, you're worth it, just triple your prices. No, raise your prices based on demand and based on what the market will bear. Saying no more. No is a complete sentence. I had to learn that. It took me a long time to learn that. But no is a complete sentence, y'all. I'm telling you, it frees you. I'm not even gonna get into it, but it's a complete sentence. and learning to think differently. We can't always think the way we thought in the past. We can't, what got us here won't get us there. And I always tell people, open your mind to experience new ideas within business, because there's always more than one way to do something. Most founders sabotage their growth because scaling requires a new version of you, and the old version always fights to stay in control. It's like a war of the souls. More people fail in comfort than succeed in discomfort. Remember, I said that. But once you push through that discomfort, you create space, capacity, leverage, momentum, all of that. And suddenly your revenue jumps will feel normal. Oh, shoot. Well, I did 500,000 this month. Okay, let's see what we can do next month. Oh my God, I did 750 when I did 500,000 last month. Those will start feeling effortless to you. And then you'll be on a mission and you'll be like, okay, let's see how high I can go next month, and the following month, and the following month. It's not luck, it's because of the work that you've put in. Then you'll be shooting for the new revenue targets and it won't even scare you. Like, I've had people come into my accelerator that wanted like 250 or 500K or whatever, and by the time they were done, they were so comfortable in saying, I want a $5 million company. I want a $10 million company. And they did the work to get there. So I'm very proud, very proud. So if this episode felt like I was calling you out, good, because that's what it was. Shots fired, bang bang. If it felt like a shift, that's even better. I hope something triggered within you that has you ready to go. And if you feel your next level pulling at you, then it's time to make the different decisions. They don't have to be difficult decisions, just different decisions. You're not stuck because you're incapable. You're stuck because you're evolving, and nobody has prepared you for that stage yet. And your business needs to evolve with you. When you're ready to build the infrastructure, your offers, the teams that match your goals and objectives, you know where to find me. Shoot, if you need to set new goals and objectives, I can help you with that too. So, if you're ready for structure and strategic support, book a discovery call at calendly.com/mogulchicks with an X CEO. And let's design the version of your company that scales without you doing everything on your own. And if you're already at 5 million and you want to sit with women at the table who scale big, consider joining the Mogul Circle. We have founding member prices right now that will go up in February 2026. Your next level requires you to be at a next level table. So visit circle.mogulchicks.com. And that's all I have for today. Take a moment and leave your comments in the podcast comment section, and let me know how you feel about this. Let me know where you stand with all of this right now.
I'm Adrienne Graham, CEO and founder of Mogul Chicks, and this has been another Mogul Chicks chat. I want to help you build a better, more profitable company by providing strategic growth solutions, resources, mentoring, training, and access to capital. Make sure you check out the other episodes, and if you like what you hear, share the love. Pass the link on to your friends. You can find this podcast on Pandora, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and of course, on the Mogul Chicks website. Make sure you subscribe. And if you subscribe and leave a comment on any or all of these channels, it helps other people find the podcast too. Sharing is caring. For more information about how we work with you to grow and scale your company, visit us online at mogulchicks.com. Send an email to contact@mogulchicks.com. Or you can connect with us all over social media at Mogul Chicks, and that's Mogul Chicks with an X. And if you're not yet part of the Mogul Circle, if you're doing over $1 million in revenue annually, what are you waiting for? There's so much value in membership and the communities. Or if you prefer a good program or trying to move beyond startup phase, check out the Mogul Chicks Academy. I'll catch you on the next episode. Stay safe. Mogul Chicks are always a step ahead of the crowd and they're always closing deals. Remember, Mogul Chicks make mogul moves and power plays. Your move. Now go be profitable. Bye.